welcome to today's tutorial. Today we'll be learning how to cartoonize a picture in Photoshop. So let's see how it goes there. I'll open my Photoshop program. Photoshop's loading. Alright, Photoshop's program have loaded. So the first thing is to open up the picture I would like to cartoonize. So can click on file, then click on open there. So go to where I have the picture. So I want to use this picture, then click on open there. Alright, so this is the picture we'll be working with for today's tutorial. We want to see how we can be able to cartoonize this picture, convert this picture to a cartoon using Photoshop. And in between, I'm going to be pausing this video so that it will not be too long for my viewers. So let's proceed now. So you need to familiarize yourself with the Photoshop shortcuts. Ctrl+ for zoom in, Ctrl-, spacebar, click and drag. You need to familiarize yourself. Ctrl-0. So Ctrl+ will zoom in, Ctrl- would zoom out. Spacebar, when you press hold the spacebar, the hand tool will appear. If you click and drag, it will point towards the areas of this picture. So this can come in handy when you are trying to trace out the lines of this picture. I hope that's understandable. Another place you need to get used to is the layers pen here, which will be using the layers pen. Let me move out my screen there. So the layers pen, this is a very important area you also need to familiarize yourself with. So we'll be stacking several layers under this layers pen. Let's pause a lot of talking and kick into the main deal. Alright, so the first thing to do is to create a new layer on top of my layer here. So I'll click on the new layer there. So a new layer is added by doing this. Now this is the layer I just added, the one that says layer 1. So I may want to name this layer 1 my outline. So you just point on the text area, double click, type the name you desire, then hit on the enter key. Are you there? Alright, so having applied this, I'm going to go here and pick the pen tool. So make sure, sorry, let me move out my screen towards the side there. So you make sure the particular tool you're using from here is the pen tool itself, not the freeform pen, the pen tool itself. So I'll click on the pen tool. Then make sure your color here is on default. You can switch your color back to default by pressing the D key. I'll press the D to turn it to default. That is black and white. The foreground color is black, the background color is white. Alright, so let me zoom in now so we can start tracing out the edges of this picture. Are you okay? Alright, so let's see that. I'll use the pen tool, click, go to the next point and click, go to the next point, click, go to the next point, click, go to the next point, click. So I'm going to do a little thing here. Now notice this area will not give me what I want. I will press hold the alternate key. While holding the alternate, I'll click on the north point there. So for your information, this point is called an anchor point. So this anchor point is controlled by what we call control points. Now you can see these two guys here. These two guys are known as control points. While the square that holds the control point is called an anchor point. So this is an anchor point, this is an anchor point, this is an anchor point, while these other ones that has a line linking to the anchor points are known as control points. This guy and this guy is a control point. So it is necessary for producing a curve while using the pen tool. So I'm just going to create something. You click and drag to form. So I'll hold the alternate, click, then click and drag, then hold the alternate, click on the anchor point to remove that point, click and drag, do same here. So I'll use this to form the edge of this hair that way. Alright, I think I've gotten enough, so I'll go back this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Remember, I'm forming the outline. That is why I called the name of this my layer outline. So I'll go back to my starting points. So you can hold the control key to adjust the anchor points. Getting this done. Alright, so this is good. Now let's zoom out, let's see how it is. That's the outline for the hair, the outline for the hair. So I'm just going to apply this so that it will be drawn here. So to apply this, using the pen tool, I will right click and say fill parts. So on saying fill parts, I'll make sure this is on foreground color. My foreground color here is black, so I'll just click on the OK button there. Boom, you notice something happened around there, so I'll hit on the enter to remove this. So if I hide the background layer here, you see we have a trace of the hairline. Alright, this is good. So let's proceed to drawing the other parts of the image, the outline of the other parts of the image. So I'm going to try to trace out this side of the image, go down here this way so that the head will be complete. So I'll zoom in there. So let's proceed. I'll add some little spike there. So upgrade this. For more info on how to use the pen tool, I think I'll make another video of how to use the pen tool for those of us that doesn't know how to use the pen tool yet, but then we want to learn how to make cartoon in Photoshop. So I'm tracing the outline down here. Forming the picture. Alright, so come back here, link it up. So this side is okay now. So let me do the same thing here, trying to pick out the hair from here. So forming towards the side. I'll enter a little bit there. All right, so now notice I formed here and formed here. If I right click at this point in time, this will only be implemented to a sub part, which is the one that is selected here. If I right click anywhere, it will only be implemented on a sub part. But however, if I want it to be implemented on the two part, I'll first have to hold the control key and click out. You notice the selection around the part disappeared, so this is equivalent to this now. So I'll right click at this point and say fill parts. Take note, the outline layer is still selected down there, so I'll click on fill part, then click on OK, and boom, so the two parts have been filled. So I'll just press enter to remove the lines, and let's hide these layers and see how this is forming. Wow, this is good, this is good. So let me show this back. All right, so let me proceed. I will fast forward at this point to finish up the other parts, then we'll proceed. back in. So right click your parts. Okay, so I think the head is now complete. We have the head completed now. So we'll proceed, we'll project towards the other parts of this lady's body, starting from the neck area. I'll try as much as possible for my outlines to be tiny. Okay. Okay, let's see what we have so far. Wow, this is turning out so well. It's turning out so well. Okay, this is turning out well. So I normally use this hide and show effect so that I can see how good the drawing is turning out to be. So for this area of this art that has a lot of fader in it, I'm going to use a trick to maneuver the area. I'm just going to jump and go over to the hand area to trace the hand at this point. So let's proceed with that. So I want to jump and trace the outline of the hand. Side. So let's implement. Okay, see, this side is selected only, but this side is not selected, so I'll hold the control and click before I flip back here. Alright, enter. So let me zoom this out and see. Okay, doesn't make most sense at this point, but let's still go down. We'll get to see the sense in it. All right, so fine and good. Then this side, let me apply a little bit of outline around here. A little bit of outline, though it doesn't make much sense, but let's just flow along with the vibe. So let me hide this. Okay, all right, so let's start up the magic now, so that the remaining things can be reviewed. But before I start up the magic for this body to review these other parts, I would like to add the details of the face. Let me add the details of the face. So I'm going to add another layer that I'll call brows, that is the eyebrows. So on the eyebrows, I'm going to proceed. Sorry, I won't do, then go gradual. So I want to do something like this there, then come down. All right, so we have here covered. So let's get to the other side of the brows. Okay, we can simply use this side, then flip it and apply to the other side. So let me do that. Right click, few parts, enter, enter. So I'll use my select tool, highlight here, then hold the alternate and the control, click and drag to duplicate it. Control T, right click, then click on flip horizontal. Boom, it will turn it the other way. So I can still right click again, then apply wrap. So with the wrap, I can now readjust this to where it should be. Sorry. Enter. So we have this Ctrl D. So I can hide this and show this, hide this and show this. So when I touch the opacity now, it will rhyme proper. So I'm going to come here and I will add a layer mask here. So once I click here, a mask is added. So I'll grab my brush tool. So having my brush tool, I have the opacity as 100. I will ensure that the brush I'm using is a soft round brush. So enter. So I'll increase the size using the chain bracket, or I can kindly come back here and toggle the size to the size I want. Right, I can still reduce the size here. So when I brush over this layer now, sorry, I noticed something brushing over this layer. Notice that my foreground is on white. That means I'm not erasing anything. So I will switch it with X key to black here. Yeah, so when I click now, it will erase. So you see that, but then I would like to bring it back. Let me touch the opacity a little bit before I do this. So I'll reduce the opacity to 75% in there. Then so that to give me that vibe. Reduce it further. So at the end of the day, have something that looks very much similar like her brows. So maybe on the final touch, on the completion, we'll do the final touch. Sorry, I'm seeing something here. Let me do this at once since I saw it. So I'll go around this way, then right click on this, make selection from there. Okay, now let me review this so that you see what I'm doing. Now you see that some area of this my eyebrow shouldn't be there, so I'll just delete to remove the areas that shouldn't be there. So I'll do the same to here, make selection, then delete. Yep, Ctrl D. So I think this should be very much similar to what we had. Yep. Oh, I'm still seeing something here. Alright, so we've gotten it now. So make selection. Okay, so make sure to delete. Ctrl D. Yeah. So this is very much like her eyebrow now. Alright, so let's go over to the next area, which is her eye. So I will create a new layer, call it eyes. So having eyes, let's create the layer for her eyes now. I'm gonna going down. Alright, so call this eyes. So fill parts to start forming the outline for the eyes. Okay, so let's come down. So let me zoom it forward so I can see. Okay. Okay, let's see how far. Let me hide this. Are we really making sense? So we're making progress here. All right, So I can see a space here. The space shouldn't be there. So let me close it up. Okay. All right. I have something nice here. So let me show this. Then I'll use my selection tool, highlight this. Let's do the same thing we did for the browse. So I will hold the control and the alternate, click and drag, control T, right click and flip horizontal there. So I can do small rotation here just to fit this proper, reduce it a little. You can see. Okay, rotate it just slightly. Move it down. Enter. So Control D. Okay, this is what we have. I believe it's setting proper, although I'm seeing a little place here, so let me close it up. Okay, and I'll fill it up. So I normally show and hide to be sure everything is in check there. Have this area, zoom in slightly to see clearly. Okay, so far so good. This area too. Sorry, I'll remove this. Let me go again. This way. Way, and move this backwards slightly, then go back here, this way, go this way, and click this way. Okay, so this is good. Now we've gotten her eyes. This is good, this is good, this is good. We've gotten her eyes. So let's proceed to her nose. So I'll click on outline, add a new layer, call it nose. Enter. So let's zoom in. Let's work on the nose. Drag to form the nose. So right click, few parts. That's the first part of the nose. Then let's form the other parts of the nose. We have this dark area of the nose. And we also have this other area of the nose. Okay, so I'll control click, right click few parts, and so we have the notes already. Then add something here, so to not look weird. There's something, a little thing here. Add another little thing somewhere around here, so to not look too weird. Then right click, control click, then right click on a few parts. I think we should also add something here to make it complete. I'm using an artistic eyes to look at it. Okay, so this is good now. This is good. Alright, so let's see. So the image is forming out, our picture is forming out. Okay, so now let me go back to our eyes and complete the details of our eyes. So we have the eyeball. I'm going to form the eyeball on the eyes. Then the coloration effect will be done separately. So we'll have something like this around it. Okay, going back. Okay, few parts. So we have this there, and for this other side. So from the eyeballs, let's see what's up. It's turning out to be her gradually. It's turning out to be her. So we're making progress. If you're here, I'd like you to put your hands together for yourself. You've made a very good progress so far.